The views and opinions of the producer, hosts, and guests in the show do not directly reflect the official stand and policies of the management, the network, and the company.
Is your business lucky or not at the moment? Have no fear, luck can be near or right here. You are lucky to meet the Feng Shui Master. We welcome you to the online luck mentoring program to help you unlock solutions to business case problems and profit with honor and lucky prosperity. Relax and enjoy your fun learning with your partner in luck, Master Aldric Dalumpines. Broadcasting live from Big Media, this is Philippine Business Feng Shui.
Good evening, everybody. Belated happy Easter. It's been a long break, Holy Week. And tonight, we have a special topic, Feng Shui of haunted houses. As luck may have it, sometimes when you acquire, especially many inherit a place, but it turns out to be a haunted house or a haunted place. And what bearing does it bring to one's luck in life or fortunes? Let's see as we tackle this topic tonight with various true to life stories which I actually experienced in my practice these past decades in Feng Shui. Okay, so stand back, relax. This will be a visual storytelling time, and hope you learn a lot from the other world of what we call the paranormal, or from ghost stories and hauntings, which exist in real life. Meantime, let's pause for a station break before we go into our first story.
We'll be back shortly. This is Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on Big Media.
Technology allows us to explore a variety of opportunities. So why not grab one for you? Kickstart your online business with Big Benta. Create an account, visit our store builder, then make your online shop. Be visible, gain customers, and run your business hassle-free. Plus, enjoy the support of our local merchandising team to maximize our platform. Make technology work for you with Big Benta, Pinoy e-commerce site made for you. After this pandemic, let's support the Filipino community. Buy local, visit local, go local.
Now back to Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on Big Media.
Okay, for our first story, let me share with you one horrible experience with a former young congresswoman who whose first foray renting out a condo at the fort near St. Luke's Hospital. No? Apparently, unknowns to her, that particular condo has been empty in terms of occupancy for a long time, And in relation to Feng Shui, such spaces or properties besides hospitals easily get possessed or lived in by what we call hungry ghosts, especially during Chinese Ghost Month. As you know, a lot of what we call in Feng Shui hungry ghosts thrive in hospitals. Those people who could not accept and move on to the afterlife, their respective deaths, especially in the hospital scenario. No? So this is what happened. This congresswoman friend of mine uh, never believed in feng shui. She's very religious, and it was her first uh, major adventure into self-independence, having been newly separated. She ventured into uh, renting her own condo to start anew her life at BGC. I was surprised. She called me one afternoon, very frantic, at around noon, if I can rush to her newly rented place in uh, BGC uh, for Feng Shui. And I said, why? She said, let me explain later. So when I turned up at the condo, as we were about to enter the door, she explained that, well, she being alone now, only she and her yaya, her trusted maid for several years now, will be occupying the place. And apparently, she has paid the down payment, the usual requirements, and started to move in that week. However, a lot of poltergeist phenomenon has been happening each time they were moving in, to the extent that at that point she couldn't tolerate it anymore as her yaya fell ill. He said, imagine Aldric, my yaya is strong as a carabao. She hasn't been sick for years, and only now that he was the first one to sleep over, and turns out the next day with very high fever and couldn't move her body. She was so sick uh, that I had to rush her to the hospital. So when we entered the unit, suddenly there was an eerie feeling. The aircon was still off, but it suddenly turned cold uh, without any aircon. The whole unit was facing an afternoon sun. Uh, Supposed to be so hot, became so chilly, chilly enough that will give you goosebumps and uh, despite the chill, you feel nauseated or perspired, and as if somebody is beside you, like a dog or sniffing you. I mean, feeling you over, no? Uh, Not in a welcome manner. Then, as we were about to move into the living room from the entrance door, that's when uh, cabinets started banging without any wind. Okay, one after the other. So it was like a whole poltergeist thing. So it's a good thing we're still near the door. I retreated back to the hallway, and as she went out the door, I slammed the door closed and said, "Hey, uh, this place is already occupied." Okay, and the guys in there are very territorial, as you can see how they make their presence felt with those poltergeist things, uh, banging of cabinet doors and bedroom door. Uh, so quietly, it was clear to her, and we understood each other. So we settled downstairs nearby to discuss the situation in a nearby Starbucks. No? And without wasting time, I told her, you have to give up that unit. Uh, it's not worth your time, effort, and sacrifice. Shocked as she was, uh, she confessed that, hey, my deposit will be forfeited. It was around, for a few months, 350,000. Uh, and she said she'll try to give the owner a call if she can still refund. Unfortunately, that night she called back and said the owner refused to refund the deposit, it being a done deal, all the contracts signed. No? So I said, between the money and your peace of mind, it's better to sacrifice the money and uh, let's just look for a better feng shui condo for you. No? So the next day, we met again to go condo hunting as she requested movers to move her stuff back while she still had the allowance to store it in her previous unit. No? And nice thing was that afternoon when we went tripping a few blocks down the road, there was a very suitable unit for her. No? And said, forget whatever you've invested, write it off, uh, treat this again as a new start, and you'll be in a better place. This unit will bring you enormous income, enough to offset whatever you lost fast. And true to form, when she engaged that unit, within the next uh, 2 months, she got recruited to a top executive position, uh, and her income almost tripled. So, what's the take on this case? No? Uh, Usually, in a ghost haunted place like this one, a condo, some people are willing to settle for peaceful coexistence. They make offerings, follow the spiritistas. But in Feng Shui, the rule is uh, don't coexist you have always a choice. The rule in Feng Shui is suffering is always optional. You need not suffer, especially when it comes to these uh, experiences. No, you can have a better life, but you must be willing to sacrifice. Like in this case, you had to sacrifice her hard-earned 350,000 deposit. No? But it had many happy returns. Okay, so uh, that's how it is for our first story. Uh, it depends on your attitude whether a ghostly experience can be lucky or not for you. But just remember the number one moral lesson is suffering is optional in Feng Shui. You always have a choice not to go into suffering situations like enduring coexisting with a ghost in a unit and be bothered by poltergeist, whatever. Okay? So, as much as possible, avoid haunted places. Okay? Our next story will be very typically Filipino. Uh, Many a time, clients ask me, what do you think of balete tree? Okay? The ficus tree, no? Balete. Okay? Uh, I said that in Feng Shui, when it comes to trees, there are only two locations where any tree, be it balete or not, can become infested or inhabited by paranormal good or bad spirits, no? Or paranormal presences. Like, folklore in Filipino or uh, Philippine barrio folk tradition, aswang, kapre, duende, you know, those who live in trees, fairies, whatever, no? Uh, Normally in Feng Shui, these are found only in two directions in your property. If you have a tree in the northeast or southwest, these two directions, okay? Normally, in Feng Shui, they ascribe what they call female devil or female evil spirit to the southwest and male to the northeast. Okay? So if you have a balete tree, a mango tree, or whatever tree it is, be it a calamansi tree, suha, at the northeast portion of your garden, more often than not, it is a possessed tree or an enchanted tree where uh, other types of energies like paranormal reside. Okay? So you have to be careful. So as for balete, my normal reply is scientifically, balete is bad even for architects and because it destroys foundations. It is a tree that's so matakaw for water, hydrotropism. It is attracted to water sources such that its roots reach out even almost a kilometer away. If you have a balete tree almost a kilometer away from your house, one day you will be surprised over the years the roots of the tree can reach to your water lines and water cistern or water tanks, especially if below ground, to source water, no, for its own sustenance. You will only discover later that either your water tank or cisterns has leaked or your faucets has a rooty taste, no? Uh, when you drink water from it, if you check your water lines and your cistern, it's possible that the roots of that faraway balete tree has already reached and occupied your water tank. And more often than not, especially if the balete tree is beside the house, and if there's a strong typhoon, it gets uprooted. Uh, the whole root system can pull through the whole uh, foundation of the house in case that the roots have already engulfed a portion of the foundation of the house, especially fences too. And because of its also heavy weight, if it falls on the roof of the house, it can even destroy the house. So that's how physically balete tree is bad. But more often than not, if they're found in the southwest or northeast portion, they're also uh, so-called occupied by ghosts or spirits. No? So you have to be careful about such enchanted trees. See? So those are our first two stories. Uh, Balete trees are prevalent all over urban areas and well, our first story was at the heart of the metropolis, Makati, BGC, Taguig, the port. Uh, Let me bring you to Central Visayas. No? Uh, I had an assignment once. Uh, we went there around 3 times together with an investor, an actor, a young actor who's into restaurant business. He wanted to rent a place in Cebu City, formerly called Governor's Place, no? Because the old American period governor stayed there. It was near a hospital. Uh, it had this colonial Cebu ambiance, nice trees all around. However, it had that eerie antique home feeling. Uh, uh, the two top designers of the land for restaurants were with us, collaborating, and they're very perceptive. And during the initial session, one of the sisters were meditating on the place as to what's the concept that will fit the ambience of the place. Suddenly freak out as certain presences delving on the paranormal uh, started to make their presence felt during her meditation. Uh, the ground floor was clear. Most of the presence came from the bedrooms, no? Only for us to find out later that the historical background of the place was such that it was used by the Japanese also during uh, Japanese occupation and had a lot of history, murder, rape, uh, especially comfort women uh, on the second floor. No? So uh, I wasn't surprised After several sessions, sending in their plans, on around the sixth meeting, they called off the project, uh, giving up because of uh, this time poltergeist happenings also. As the carpenters were about to move in and start demolition and renovation work, many accidents and ghost huntings happened that the personnel resigned one after the other, being scared. So despite several, local folk practice with spiritistas making offerings with the contractor, uh, nothing doing. No, so eventually the project was canceled and mothballed. Okay, so that's how um, sometimes can affect your luck. No, you're a determined investor. You have no problem. Money is no object, but ghost object. Okay, and will not allow you to occupy their so-called territory. One thing in uh, my experience in interacting with spiritistas in some projects, I learned that ghosts are practically territorial. They protect their turf, no? And very possessive. That's why when you enter a ghost-ridden place or haunted place, you feel that eerie feeling, having goosebumps, as if somebody like a dog or another human being beside you, there's a presence. And worse is if you feel as if they're sniffing all around you, they're feeling and groping their way, whether you are friendly or not to them. Okay, so that's how territorial ghosts can be, which will lead me later on to explain to you how in Feng Shui there is a cure for uh, uh, ghost presences like this, no? As a mode of protection, like in these times of pandemic, as a mode of vaccination from ghosts, or uh, plain protection, or deterrent, normally as a deterrent, not prophylaxis. Okay? So we will tackle that uh, later on. No? So there it is, Cebu, a batch governor's house restaurant project because of uh, haunted place. Okay? Now let's go up to Baguio. Uh, One son of a tycoon brought me to the Laperal house, telling me that he was assigned to uh, uh, make recommendations in the place. And he said he'll have it feng shui first. And that famous white house along near Teacher's Camp, so-called the haunted house in Baguio, the Laperal house. It's maraming pangalan yan. It's also called the Yamashita House or Malacanang of the North during World War II, because also during Japanese time, it was the headquarters of General Yamashita, no? Based in Baguio. Now, it's empty. Nice White House. It's like it looks like an Aguinaldo house, colonial. However, I was warned as we were walking up the stairs inside. The caretaker warned me, "Sir, as we reach the top, which is, it's like a balcony type with a turret, like Aguinaldo's house. No? Uh, don't ever run. Never show you're scared. Just ignore what you see." So we were moving up. It's a nice place, antique all over. Uh, and when we reached the top, wow, the waft of wind suddenly turned super, super cold. And again, there was the rattling of cabinet doors, presence of poltergeist, window louvers started swinging with no wind at all, just the cool Baguio air. And on an eerie afternoon around 4 p.m., dogs in the neighborhood started howling, no? Like a horror movie. One after the other, they second the motion for the whole neighborhood. And of course, uh, following the caretaker's advice, even though my hair is already standing all over, uh, I had to bear with him as he oriented me as we walked all the way from the top back down to the basement area. Okay, so when the tycoon-san asked me, meron, no? And I said, yes, meron. So what's the best use for this? Uh, because even the Feng Shui of his dad uh, already mentioned that it cannot be resided on because of the presence. No, there will be no peace of mind. And this time, with combination of Feng Shui, the house was in a uh, sharply descending property, sloping downward. No, the house was on top of the hill, and behind it was the hill going downside. So it's bad feng shui. So I told him, anybody who acquires this, it so happened, his dad acquired it na pala, will always have a downhill uh, finances from the date of acquisition. And the only best use for that, if that's the pattern, the use of the land and the feng shui of the land, is to use it as a tax shield. Be that as it may, wealthy as the dad was, uh, it was a proper tax shield as a public museum. Okay? And indeed, it was converted into a public museum as it is existing now. Okay? So that's how sometimes problems, even uh, haunted houses, can be converted to opportunity. You can make it as a tax shield. Okay? Depends on how your accountant uh, advises you. But this time, the advice does not come from an accountant, but a feng shui guy. Okay? So, that's Baguio. Now, let's go to another uh, shock experience in Baguio. No? Uh, the same tycoon-san brings me over to his dad's mansion up at Mines View, the one with the heliport, the only building there. It looks like a seminary, but actually it's a 20-room mansion, uh, corporate mansion used by the family and uh, their corporate group of companies for seminars or planning sessions in Baguio. And it has a helipad on top. So each time we go to Baguio, we stay there. And it has not been noticeable to me that each time we stay there, I'm always billeted in a special room under the helipad. I think it's the third floor, no? Third or fourth floor, near the fire exit on the side of the building where the fire exit stairs are. And for every floor, there are around uh, several bedrooms. All told, the whole building has 20 uh, seminary type rooms, aside from the executive room of the tycoon on the ground floor. So, since we always go there for vacation and good time, we were always drunk and we go home late in the morning. We just go there to bath and sleep and tour Baguio. No? Uh, but this time when we went there, it was Holy Week. No? Uh, and there was not much activity, being I think Good Friday. The city was quiet. Uh, as early as 9 p.m. Of course, we were still up and about, sober, and decided to rest early. So I went back to my room. As I was preparing my things and packing, uh, suddenly I heard a knock on my door calling my name. The voice wasn't familiar. So I opened the door. Nobody was there. And I checked the whole hallway, opening all the bedrooms, thinking that one of our companions downstairs who was sleeping in the ground floor was playing a prank on me. Only when I reached the last room at the end of the hallway, nobody was there, and I realized it was a long corridor, uh, and my room was at the far end. That I suddenly had the eerie feeling, you know, the goosebumps thing again. No? So I rushed back to the room, closed the door, and when I closed the door, windows were still closed, yet the room was breezy, as if the windows were open, and it was so cold. Then I suddenly developed cold sweat, and here comes the voice again, calling me. So for the second time, I opened the door, bravely went out, and searched the rooms again. None. And then it occurred to me again that, hey, this is different. So I ran back to the room, went straight to bed, went under the blankets, and tried to sleep. So I was, this time, uh, I began perspiring because the windows were closed and such. And I got dead scared. No? And when I was hidden under the blanket, oh, here comes that voice again. So I gathered up my strength to confront it. So I stood up. Oh, wow. As I turned around, from the cabinets, there was this green image, just like the mask or something like you see in the movies, in my face calling out my name. Okay. And to my shock, I felt like a cartoon character, the one that has all my hair spiked up, terrified. I gathered my wits to run, no? uh, run outside, straight to the fire escape stairs. In a few seconds, less than 30 seconds, from the top floor under the helipad, I ran down the stairs, around four floors, down to the garden, straight to the yard, uh, right into the outpost of a laughing security guard. Okay? The guard all the while was observing me pala from downstairs and said, "Sir, akala ko Feng Shui ka. Akala ko kayang-kaya ng Feng Shui ang multo. Kaya ka dyan linalagay, 3 beses ka ng ganyan." Sabi ni Sir, kaya mo yan kasi Feng Shui ka. Okay. Sabi ko, ha? Totoong may multo yung kwarto. Ayun, sir, ang pinaka-haunted na room. Kaya doon kayo pinapatulog para to prove na kaya nyo na hindi pala eh. Sabi ng guardia. Sabi ko, grabe kayo. So, I asked where the bodyguards barracks was, and I joined the bodyguards since there were several double-deckers there and I could sleep there overnight. Early morning, breakfast, I accosted my friend. I said, "Hey, why do you make me sleep in a ghost-ridden place?" "Pare, huwag ka na maingay. Kaya nga kita sinasama dito eh. You know, my situation. Nobody in the family already wants to go up here in this mansion. So, I'm the only one taking courage, bringing you along to prove to them that ghosts are nothing, no? That you can Feng Shui it. And besides, if my siblings don't like this place, so I'm the best bet to inherit it." Oh my God. So I said, "Forget it. This is my last visit to this place. I'll never come back again." Okay? So it was a very harrowing experience. And even up to now, each time I pass by that house, often I have clients in Baguio and sometimes they live near the place. Just passing by in front of the house, suddenly dogs in the neighborhood will start howling even during daytime. No? So that's how haunted it can get. No? And of course, scary. Okay? So, what's the moral lesson there? Well, some people, despite haunted place, still want that place. They want to inherit it, no? Okay, so there's no limit to greed. Okay, not even a ghost can stop a greedy person. Okay, so let's stop there in the meanwhile and go for station break. Okay.
We'll be back shortly. This is Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on Being Media.
Empower your mind. Be informed. Dahil lamang ang may alam. knowing the latest trends and issues in the society. Feed your mind with information that are reliable, fresh, and straight from the experts. Be involved here in the conversations with Chester Kidlat, broadcasting live in big media. This is The Conversations.
Let's dive deep into an all-boys conversation with Voice of the Boys, taking up full sessions about movies, anime, martial arts, and more. Voice of the Boys features pop culture, discussions on male topics, and issues with a hint of female perspective. Hosted by your resident voice artist, the Rick Matthews, and voice the Slayer, Joshua Ravales. So grab a popcorn and enjoy the Voice of the Boys, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Get into the treasure trove of undiscovered music through Napalm, your new all-Pinoy alternative music program. Whether it's rock, metal, reggae, soul, or pop, we have it covered. Napalm features upcoming Pinoy artist and musician, hosted by your alternative revivalist, Charlie Diaz, and resident rockista, Pards Moro. So sit back and relax. Enjoy Napalm, only here on V81 Radio, Manila, where alternative lives. An online program that takes you to all corners of beauty and lifestyle. This is Beauty in a Box, providing insights on how beauty and lifestyle of all kinds will be of help to everyone, may it be in their professional or personal lives, by improving one's confidence. Beauty in a Box, every Saturday, 1 p.m. Philippine time, hosted by certified makeup artist and beauty enthusiast, Aaliyah Ambre. Beauty in a Box, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. The program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Making a difference. Making a difference. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erica Mizon. Together with her cool millennials, they will be making a difference. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. Philippine time. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Now back to Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on Big Media.
Okay, so uh, are you learning so far? No, many weird experiences. Now, let me share with you experience of a lady client uh, whose ghostly experience was felt through a medium after Feng Shui. So she sought Feng Shui after her mom died in a fire that struck their home. Okay. So, wanting to have peace of mind, she turned to Feng Shui. Unfortunately, she fell victim to one of the fake Feng Shui uh, in the community, no? So, the typical ones who ask you to buy and buy all this stuff, put anything, from just may masabi lang na related to Feng Shui. So, from beads, wearing beads, to all these statue, these figurines that are filling up her house already like a museum. Uh, and what's worse was they had a toddler kid, and yet this fake lady feng shui prescribed them to protect them from envious people, and there was a lot of sibling rivalry in the family because after the mom died, well, the dad kept first the estate, and of course, uh, siblings took sides. Who's in favor of the mom, who's in favor of the dad. So there was no harmony, and a lot of envy and intrigue thrived within the confines of the family. And guess what? The fake Feng Shui prescribed to them was to keep an itak or a bolo, like the one of Andres Bonifacio, right under their bed. I was fuming mad because, you know, you have a three, 2, 3-year-old toddler walking about, a young boy in your house, in your bedroom. What if the boy finds the knife and started playing with it? You can imagine how dangerous to life and limb it can be, no? So, so we just subjected their home to the standard classical feng shui treatment. And one of the best things for harmony and, of course, progress is to take care of an arowana fish. And the only location at that time was near her garage where she can place the fish. Okay. And she related one day when she was gardening, uh, the fish jumped out of the aquarium. And a good thing was that the fish hit her head. So at least she knew it jumped out of the aquarium and was still able to save the fish and bring it back to the aquarium and cover it properly this time around for its safety. Imagine arowana fish is very expensive at that, even now, no, at that time. But you know what happened? After a few minutes, while she continued gardening, somebody knocked on the door, their gate. Okay. It turned out to be the insurance company's lawyer who was seeking her out for almost a year now after the mom's death, only to inform her that she was the rightful beneficiary of her mom's insurance policy. Okay? So that's how coincidental luck. Ganun kaswerte yung paramdam ng mama niya to the arowana hitting her on the head. Okay? And right after, a windfall of insurance money coming in. Enough for them to uh, start life anew, rolling over, uh, meaning they from renting to building their own house. Okay? So, such phenomenal experiences can happen, no, to anyone uh, bordering on such paranormal synchronicities, as we call it, or happenstance. Okay? So, one uh, ghostly positive experience. Okay? Next is, let's go all the way to uh, Mindanao. No? One time, I was invited to talk to a JC convention on Feng Shui in Kidapawan, North Cotabato. Okay, so we went all the way uh, by land from Davao to Kidapawan. After the event, we went all the way to my host friend place, Iligan City, where I did some Feng Shui for uh, Iligan residents. No? Some Chinese, some fellow JCs. On my last day, uh, a fellow JC approached us if I can do Feng Shui for him. I said yes, okay. So we went. I was surprised. Their house was near the beach in Iligan. It was a castle. It was like an English castle nestled on a hill. Uh, Below was the beach. It was like I don't know if they shot it there, It was like the commercial of White Castle whiskey in the past in television. Where you see a blue and white castle and a beach with the lady riding a horse, no? But this time we went up to that castle and it was so musty, uh, dark, uh, because they were thinking of just about to transfer there. The the place is owned by the wife of my client. No, used to be uh, the place of their in-laws. So when we entered, it has been abandoned for years, and we just used a flashlight. Everything was so musty. When we entered the master's bedroom, wow, there were still blood stains all over the carpet, on the bed, everything. It was a gory place. And the owner explained that that's why they're having it feng shui, uh, because the place was the scene of a passion killing. Uh, his father-in-law then was a British Londoner who fell in love with his mother-in-law, a beauty queen from Iligan, followed her here in the Philippines. They got married and just like in England, built a castle for her out of his love. However, the guy was so jealous that in a fit of jealousy, uh, it resulted to passion killing. Killed his wife and committed suicide also in the same bedroom. Okay, so we did the feng shui, uh, and uh, right after we packed up from the hotel, my host back to Cagayan de Oro for the night flight back to early night flight back to Manila. On the way from Iligan to Cagayan de Oro, I suddenly felt nauseated. I don't have any high blood pressure, young as I was then. That was over 20 years ago. Uh, my my skin suddenly turned jaundice, but I noticed my arms all over were filled with bruises, small bruises the size of 1 peso coins. I almost looked like on one side, on my left arm, a Dalmatian, no? Spotted with all those black and blue bruises. And as we look at each other, my host said, "Are you thinking what am I thinking?" I said, "Let me tell you a story. When I was young, I experienced only this type once, but not this many, around three. And my lolo, this was because I chased a chicken under our house in Bacolod City, sa Silong. And, how crazy it was chasing. But thereafter, I felt nauseated too, and my thighs had almost this type of tree, similar, exactly the same. And my lolo said, na duwende ka. Exactly, that's our folklore here in Iligan. My host said, no. So uh, he stopped. He stopped the vehicle along the highway. He pulled up something from his waist back. It was like a bottle of white flour. But he said the content is not white flour. It's blessed corn oil, no? Lana. They call it lana in Iligan, which is given to him by his shaman. He goes to a shaman for treatments like this. No? He had paranormal experiences before, got sick, and was healed only by this lana. And that lana was edible. Only corn. You can drink it. So he asked me if I can tolerate drinking it straight. So adventurous as I was, I said, as long as it's not toxic, okay. So I finished up the small bottle. Uh, I felt sleepy, and he said, we have enough time for your flight. Let's check in for a while. You can take a better nap in a nearby airport hotel. Then I bring you to your flight after 2 hours. No? And to form, I slept. And when I woke up, all the bruises were gone. No? So this was an experience combination of uh, not only a haunted house, but the haunting was more of gnomes or elves or duende. The castle became the colony of uh, elves. No? And that's the what one thing we forgot when we entered the place was we never said excuse me or tabi tabi po, which was customary as a courtesy greeting to paranormals for peaceful coexistence so they won't harm you. So actually those bruises were no, elf bites or dwarf bites. No? Uh, and they disappeared. Okay. From then on, I was introduced to that particular lana. Okay. And this lana became a very good bonding point between me and my friend from Iligan. He related to me that he was saved by that lana uh, when one time, unknowingly, uh, he scolded his maid. Turns out his maid was from Sikihor, who's familiar with witchcraft and sorcery. So the maid resigned, but had a grudge on him, uh, and uh, did some sorcery on him to the point that he almost died of uh, trouble with his excretory system. No? His anus got blocked and infected. That uh, he almost died. And only when he went to this shaman, what you call nagpatawas, uh, that they discovered that he was being made kulam or under the spell of sorcery, hexed by that maid. And he was made to drink this lana, and wow, his body was detoxified. Uh, 2 liter of Coke bottles of pus came out of his system, and he managed to live and survive. Okay. Now, why am I sharing this? Because this is another dimension of haunting. Okay. So from Iligan, let's fly back to Manila. And this was a unique experience. That time, I got exposed to uh, doing feng shui for uh, George T's other siblings, half family, no? The family of Doña Salustiana T, the second family. And as they got the hang of feng shui, uh, one of their eldest sisters brought me along to her suki in somewhere in Bustillos, near Villalobos in Sampaloc, near National University, fronting where the MRT station now is in Legarda area. Okay, it was still under construction then. She brought me to her good friend Suki, a watch repair guy, the one in Quiapo, doing watch repair, small stool by the sidewalk. His store is behind him, sari sa general merchandise store or selling load, office supplies, bond paper to the students, and of course, variety store. Well, he does his watch repair. And he was on a wheelchair. I thought he was so-called elephant man because his legs, both of his legs, were kind of like an elephant's already, swollen, as if it was infected. Uh, it was a different form of edema, no? And as related by George's sister, he was actually the heir apparent of a leading uh, watch dealer family in Quiapo before now big time in the malls. No? They were the first authorized service center of Rolex. And it so happened this son was the youngest son and was the favorite of the dad, such that when the dad died, the business was supposed to be his inheritance based on the will of the father. However, due to sibling rivalry, uh, uh, one of the elder brothers practiced sorcery. Pinakulam siya to make him disabled. And the disability was his legs. He couldn't walk uh, because it was infected, was full of pus regularly. May nana, gets pus and cannot stand. No? So the sister Dorothy asked me, I will give you to him to feng shui him. I challenge you. Can he be healed through feng shui? And they explained that it's because of the kulam. Can feng shui counter kulam? And I said, nothing wrong. It's just all about energies. If we straighten the energies of his house, and his personal energies, perhaps there's a big chance. And they related that we have to be careful because he has actually been all over town. He has went to faith healers and other spiritistas, and all have a common uh, decision that he was being kulam or under sorcery, no? And the mastermind was his eldest brother. However, they can do counter sorcery and heal him, but on one condition, his brother will die. The mastermind of the sorcery will die. Eh, he didn't like to do that to his brother. He was a very good younger brother. No? So he did not agree. He sacrificed himself and suffered all these years with that affliction. So when I related to him, aha, there's only one thing I can recommend to you uh, beyond Feng Shui. After we did the Feng Shui, if your energies are receptive due to Feng Shui, then I will ask you to take this kind of lana. But I have to source it pa. If you can wait at least a week, it will be sent to me by LBC. It is from Iligan. I will ask my friend to send me. Uh, I think you will need 2 bottles of the yung lapad, the tanduay bottle, one for each leg. It's either partly you massage it on your leg and partly you drink it. I was surprised to his response. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. That so-called lana from Iligan. Because all these spiritistas were telling me that's the only lana or oil that I can drink if I get my hands on it. Exactly 1 bottle each for each leg. Drink straight up, and it can heal me without killing my brother. That's how powerful that lana is compared to all other nationwide. He told me, wow, I was surprised by, the coincidence or serendipity of the situation. I related it to my friend. Readily, he sent me 2 bottles of Tanduay uh, corn oil, blessed corn oil lana. And when I delivered it to him in uh, Quiapo, in Sampaloc, uh, right there and then, in front of me, he chugged it. 2 bottles, he finished it in front of me, straight up. And uh, uh, that's it. I said, good luck, goodbye, and uh, hopefully he get well. So that was around start of the week, Monday or Tuesday. Come Friday, since they were all devotees of this new latecomer saint, Saint Pancratius, uh, and I think it was his blessed day on a Friday. Uh, George the sister called me, Aldric, please join me. Let's go to his place. Let's celebrate and bringing a priest along. Let's have a Thanksgiving Mass. I said, why, ma'am? That's how you'll find out. Wow, when we reached there, uh, he was standing already. No more sign of swelling in his foot. His foot was back to normal. And what he showed me was 4 bottles of Coca-Cola, full of pus. 2 bottles each came from his legs. After he drank it, it was purged of all the impurities, detoxified, no? And for souvenir, he just stored it for posterity. Okay, but he's well now. Okay, so that's how bizarre uh, this world of healing or even hauntings can get, no? In especially in the Philippines. Okay, so we have to be careful when it comes to uh, this stuff. And that Lana has gone a long way. Even society matrons from Forest Park, uh, even just small stomach aches, I just give them when I had stock before, uh, small white flower bottle size Lana. They use it, huh? And uh, it heals them in many instances. Okay, so that's the other spectrum of hauntings like this. No? Uh, it can start from scary situations to healing situations. Okay, so in the meantime, before we entertain questions and answers, let's pause for a station break.
We'll be back shortly. This is Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on B Media.
Technology allows us to explore a variety of opportunities. So why not grab one for you? Kickstart your online business with Big Benta. Create an account, visit our store builder, then make your online shop. Be visible, gain customers, and run your business hassle-free. Plus, enjoy the support of our local merchandising team to maximize our platform. Make technology work for you with Big Benta, Pinoy e-commerce site made for you. After this pandemic, let's support the Filipino community. Buy local, visit local, go local.
Now back to Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on Big Media.
Okay, so so far now for those ghost stories. Hopefully next time let's tackle big projects that are affected also by paranormal. No? We just focus on homes this time. Adjunct to that, Lana, uh, there is another very miraculous instance of hauntings also. No? There was this Iglesia ni Cristo uh, guy. He was engineer of EEI. He was in charge of Novotel. And his wife engaged me because normally when he has a project, one of the perks given to him is his wife can operate the canteen. of the construction site. So it was here in Cubao, Novotel. And when I asked, why are you engaging Feng Shui? I said, for our canteen and also the project, because the project has already been delayed for 3 months. I said, huh? Novotel, EEI, you have all the resources, you have all the funds, no reason for delay. And she mentioned suddenly the unique cause of delay. Of course, people, the construction workers, have to be fed 24/7. Work is scheduled 24/7, 3 shifts. And what's important is the food, the canteen. No? You have to feed them 24/7 also, uh, every shift. Okay. However, the canteen cannot operate because the cooks, all the lady staff, always resign. And even the project got saddled because even the lady security guards assigned to the project for security also resigned. It turned out there was a ghost hunting the place, and it was what you call an incubus. It was, an evil ghost that rapes women. So their the crew, their staff, the cooks, the waitresses ended up having nightmares. Uh, in their nightmare, they were raped by this similar guy, a black yeti looking guy. Uh, uh, there every night, no, it happens. So until all their staff resigned, and then suddenly the lady guards also resigned to the delay of the project. Okay. What was critical here was, first of all, the engineer was Iglesia ni Cristo. They don't believe in Feng Shui. Okay. So that was quite a hurdle. No. So this is where uh, the remedy comes in with ghosts being territorial. Uh, the only cure was a turtle. Okay. So on their side, uh, in the kitchen area somewhere, uh, they took care of a live pet turtle. And eventually, the paranormal uh, disappeared. And things normalized, and the project was finished. Okay? So, that's one tip, no? Taking care of turtle has actually one extra benefit as protection from poltergeist like this, or why? The simple logic that turtles have their own house, and these entities, paranormal, are territorial. They divert their attention, turtles divert their attention from the human beings in the site to the turtle kasi malikot yung turtle. However, much as the entities will focus on the turtle because it's always moving, when they touch it, the turtle hides in its shell. So, magiging busy lang yung ghost and paranormal entities dun sa turtle. Their attention will not be fixed on the human beings. So, it allows smooth activities for the humans at the project site. Okay? Very simple logic, but it works. Okay? And turtle, the other benefit, it gives full employment, full productivity for careers. And that's what happened to the EEI workers at Novotel. No? They got fully employed, even the canteen staff, and their careers went bustling through. Okay, progressive. So that's one story. Now, how does that connect to the Lana? No? So in the process, they applied the same turtle formula in their home because there was also a presence in their backyard. Wow, it was a gory experience because uh, she was sharing there was at least 5 turtles died before peace came to the house. No? And you can see the turtles being tossed about in the backyard as if somebody was there throwing the turtle away on the floor, no, or on the walls, while nobody was physically present. You can see somebody picking up the turtle, ghostly experience. And uh, yun nga, what a sacrifice. After the turtles died and still continuously substitute turtles, naging nawala na yung ghost experience. Okay? Now, where does the Lana come in as a link? Okay. The family, now being happy, peaceful, progressive, embark on a tour, uh, a fambam to Sagada. Okay. So while they were in Sagada, they were enjoying, and as they went down, wala pang 2 days, on the second day after they returned, the wife called me, crying, asking for help. I said, why? My husband is dying. He's in the ICU. Doctors cannot find anything wrong with him, but he's dying. Okay? Oh, I said, where did you go? And then they said, Sagada. Oh my God. I said, na matanda. Became a victim of folklore, sorcery, or what. I base it on the fact that he was a firm Iglesia believer. And when I asked if they went on this coffin tour in Sagada, yes, and I understand when you do these tours, there should be always a tourist guide familiar with the rituals of the place, and you have to say, excuse me, or certain rituals, tabi-tabi po, when you pass these uh, areas. However, being iglesia, kinukontra, no? So, may mga anti-evil prayers din ng iglesia or orasyon. So, for most likely, uh, the husband was praying against, no? And it could have caught the ire of, the evil or bad spirits there, no? Ginantihan siya. So, I said, since I was traveling heavily there, I patched her up with my friend from Iligan. Requested my friend to please give her also uh, a bottle of Lana. And it's a good thing my friend was traveling to Manila the next day, and they were able to meet, and he brought her one. And here's the surprise thing. Uh, uh, the husband readily drank in the ICU without the knowledge of the doctor. He drank the Lana based on instruction. And thereafter, he asked for the bedpan. He wanted to go, no, the CR. And when he was using the bedpan, the wife was surprised. He heard a large thud, as if a rock fell down into the bedpan. And true to form, when they checked, what came out of his stomach was a big pebble, white pebble, yung buhay na bato, uh, straight out of his stomach. No? And there was still another dose, just like vaccine, June the next day. But, thereafter, the husband felt normal, felt good, as if nothing happened, dressed up, and checked out. Because tomorrow was Monday, it was supposed to be his first day of job. He, he apparently, that's why they went to Sagada to celebrate his job transfer from EEI to Philinvest. No? He was going to be head of all the condominium real estate construction, just like Novotel. Okay? So imagine, had he died during that weekend, uh, poor family, no? Breadwinner died. Okay? Now, new lease on life, new job, new career. And the next day, when the husband came home, religiously he followed the instructions of drinking the remainder of the lana. And again, the second stone came out. So two big stones came out of his stomach, which is signs of sorcery, actually. Okay, so he was actually like exorcised, and now they live happily ever after. Okay, such phenomenon can do exist, mind you. Okay, so that's one example of folklore or traditional sorcery or hunting because of yung uh, belief in tabi-tabi po. Okay? So, with that, let's leave room for ano, uh, questions. Any questions for tonight? Still have at least 3 minutes. Okay, what's this? Let me read. Uh, Josh Merano, where can I get that Lana Master? Oh my God. Uh, just look for uh, in Iligan. Well, the easiest is I can refer you to, well, my friend died already early last year. His name is Dito Maruhom. You can look for his wife in Iligan City, uh, Mrs. Maruhom, and she can bring you to that shaman where you can get the lana. I think it's free, no? Yeah, that shaman is good. If I understand right, that shaman is that paraplegic, is handicapped, stays near the church in Iligan, the church Saint Michael Archangel. No? Very kind. Okay, so that's where you can secure that. Naubos na yung stock ko. Ano. The last time I used the Lana was 2 years ago. I asked Dito for a bottle. I got sick and I use it as parang my ointment. I got healed. Okay. Any other questions? Who's this? Good evening. Pampaswerte po ba ang turtle tattoo? Yes, yes, yes. Uh, Turtle tattoo, very lucky. Let me share with you an experience in Cebu. There used to be when I guested for a Rotary Club there. They invited media. A reporter came and heard that. Nagpatattoo. She suddenly became promoted to editor of her department and eventually became editor-in-chief and moved on to a very good, lucrative uh, uh, communications career now with power firm in Cebu, no? And I understand each time she had a turtle tattoo, she got promoted in her career. She had 3 turtle tattoos on her legs. Okay. Next question. Any other question? Okay, Connie from Cebu. Masters Aldric Clock. Ano po mapapayo pasok sa akin ngayon? Ay, stay at home. Okay? Mag-TikTok ka na muna. Grabe ang COVID ngayon, Day. Ha? Huwag muna mag-risk ng la mierda or ano or going out of the country. Okay? Stay put, enjoy your family bonding. That's the best. Okay? Any other questions? Rosel from Iloilo. Master, di ba ang turtle figurine? Okay. Nothing beats live turtle. Okay? Turtle figurine lang. Swerte rin, pero mas maswerte ang live. Okay? Well, of course, nakikita niyo sa example natin, one of the greatest benefits of live is it distracts paranormal. Kasi galaw sila ng galaw. Maaasar sa kanila yung mga mumu. So, sila pag-iinitan, hindi yung mga tao sa bahay. Okay, figurine, wala. Okay. So, next question. Okay. No more question for the night. Tama-tama lang. It's exactly 9:30. And before we go, let's pause for a final station break.
Back shortly. This is Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on B Media.
Technology allows us to explore a variety of opportunities. So why not grab one for you? Kickstart your online business with Big Benta. Create an account, visit our store builder, then make your online shop. Be visible, gain customers, and run your business hassle-free. Plus, enjoy the support of our local merchandising team to maximize our platform. Make technology work for you with Big Benta, Pinoy e-commerce site made for you. After this pandemic, let's support the Filipino community. Buy local, visit local, go local.
Now back to Philippine Business Feng Shui, only here on B Media.
Okay. So I hope that first post-Easter episode satisfied your curiosities about certain topics that are related to Feng Shui, like in this case, haunted houses. No? Now, let's go more interactive. you can message us here in Philippine Business Feng Shui what other topics you like to discuss, no? So if you're lucky enough, I be able to pick up your suggested topic, then we can discuss it to your full satisfaction together with your classmates. Okay? So feel free to suggest after this program, just message on Philippine Business Feng Shui, or if not, message me at my Facebook page, Masters Aldric Luck. Okay? Uh, Thank you very much for tonight. Thank you, Big Media staff. And again, happy Easter to everyone. And don't forget your turtles. Okay? And huwag kalimutan, sa ikaunlad ng bayan, feng shui ang kailangan. But in time, stay at home, stay safe. Until next week, see you again.
For harnessing luck and success in doing business. This is Philippine Business Feng Shui at your service. Sa ikaunlad ng bayan, Feng Shui ang kailangan. Hosted by your partner in luck, Master Aldric Dalumpines. Every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. See you on our next learning modules for luck in business. Only here on Big Media.